welcome back to the channel, guys. You're joining us for a restoration video where I'm restoring some 690 MB irons. We've prepped them by cleaning the grips, removing the shaft bands, and today we're going to be doing some work on the heads. Tom's first comment when he saw them were, is they're looking a lot better, which, you know, I agree they really are. I'll show you some close-ups of these, but we're going to be getting stuck in with the heads today. So if you want to see how we brought these grips back to life, then check out last week's video. It's cost absolutely nothing to get them grips fresh, and the shafts are looking really good as well. We've got rid of all them tatty decals, but now we're onto the heads where we've got quite a lot of infill paint missing, especially on the numbers at the bottom. So we're going to start by removing the old infill. So I bought off eBay some paint remover. It says it's suitable for sort of steel. I've not tested this on irons or golf clubs before, but we're going to test it today to see, you know, if it's going to do a job, if it's going to help us remove the infill. I know you could probably scratch that out with a pin, but it could be really time consuming. So this has cost just over £10. And let's see whether it works. I think we're just going to spray this on. I got the aerosol one. There were cheaper ones where you could apply it you know, with a brush, but I went for the aerosol one. It's a Genolite paint stripper. Let's see how easy this is. What does it say? Shake well before use. You know, cover, leave 15 minutes to dissolve the paint, and then remove with a scraper or some sort of, you know, rough implement. So I've got a wire brush. I think I'll use that. I'm just going to apply this. Now I hope it doesn't remove the chrome. I've never used this before. I'm just trying to get it in the infills. I'm just doing the numbers first of all. It may well not work, but we'll see. So we're about 5 minutes in and it's gone very sort of gooey. You know, it came out quite wet and it's setting now quite firm. It says that, you know, if there's coverings that's, you know, anything that's uncovered, you've got to reapply. So I'm going to have a little close inspection and make sure all the infill areas are covered now before coming back with a wire brush. So just while we're waiting for the paint stripper to do its job, which should be about 15 minutes, I want to show you what I bought. It's the G-Paint golf club paint. So it's custom paint infill specifically for golf clubs. It's like an enamel, exactly what the manufacturers use. So it's really hard wearing. I have seen people, you know, do home restorations and they've used sort of model paint and stuff like that, but it doesn't dry hard, and you know, it comes out. So for £12.99 we've got 4 different colours: black, white, blue and red. So it's quite basic. I mean, I could have sort of gone for a few more exotic colours, but I really want to restore these back to the original state. So I'm going to be tempted just to use black. I might use a touch of white, but yeah, I'm looking forward to using these. They come with a little needle as well, so it should really help us get right in there and make a good job of these. About 10 minutes down, the paint is actually just peeling out. I might not need to use too much force with the wire brush. I brought some gloves because the way that paint stripper is working, I'm thinking I don't want that anywhere near my hands. So I brought some gloves for this next bit where we're going to remove the infill. Right, so we've got the pitching wedge. There's a bit of, oh, it's a 7-iron actually. Oh, look at that. Barely any force whatsoever, and that 7's just come straight out. That. Sorry for the we've got the boiler in here. It's a bit of a workshop, but also used by the gardener, so you'll see a few plants in here as well. Right, look at that. So that's where we are so far. Rub all that solution off. And there you have it. No infill. So I'm going to work myself through these, strip all the paint out, and then we're going to give them a bit of a soapy water wash, dry, and get these infills put in. Right, now all the infills removed, I'm just going to give them a really good clean, so I'm just a bit worried with the strength of that paint strip. If any's remaining in there, then the new infill's just not going to set, and I'm glad I put them gloves on, because even with the gloves on, they were almost burning through the gloves, so I think we probably need a bit thicker gloves than them if we're going to do this in future. Just getting in there with a little scrubber and then give them a dry off. So I'm going to give them all a clean. I think once we've infilled these and get them a polish, they're going to look absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at that one. That's the 4 iron without any infill in it. It's already looking really sharp. Right, so the clubs are dry. For the next part, we need to have a few things ready. We've got as infills, I'm going to be using white and black. And then we've got as white spirit and a little bit of a tissue here. So what it suggests is, you know, infill the paint, you know, as best as you can. And then before it dries, is wipe any excess infill, you know, off within a few seconds, and then let it set for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to be painting the TITLEIST in white, the Forged in black, the 690 MBs black, and the number in black. I think I'm going to keep it quite neutral. I mean, TITLEIST did all these in black, but I just think it looked nice to add a little bit of colour. So I'm going to start with the number 3 and show you how this goes. So it's empty at the minute. This is the first time I've ever done this, so it could be messy. It's actually quite firm. You've got to press it quite firm to get the infill out. It don't come out easy. Oh, here we are. So not the best first attempt, as you can see. I think I'll go ahead and just finish the infills and then clean them afterwards. I'll wipe the excess off. I'm not sure now if it might be easy to do them all in black. I'm just worried if I'm starting to wipe, you know, the different colours, or maybe I just do black first then the white once it's set. I think that's how I'm going to do this. I'm just a bit worried if I do the white and then I try and wipe it clean, it smudges and makes the white grey, so I might just have to be patient with these. Let's see what happens now. I'm doing as they've told me to. Well, that's not too bad. I need a lot of tissue here for all these clubs. That looks pretty good for a first attempt. So I don't know if you can see that, we've got the Forged and the 690 and we've got the number now infilled, and that needs to be left to dry now for 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead, finish the set, alright, and I think by the time I've finished it'll be ready to do the Forged. So I'm going to try and complete them. So I've now completed the infill on the clubs, as you can see. I'll stick some close to them, looking really sharp now. There's still a little bit of residue sort of hanging around on these clubs, and they're lacking a good polish. So I'm going to run them down to Tankers. So I'm going to go and see our friend Sam and get them on the polishing machine and see what these come up like. So I've just popped down to Tankersley. We've got a busy workshop here. I don't know what Sam's been up to, but we've come down to polish up, get any residue off the clubs. You don't need a buffing machine to do this. Obviously, we've got the luxury of doing it. Sam, behave yourself, please. So we're going to use a little bit of Brasso. Just going to apply it lightly onto the head. Sam's a busy man today. His phone has not stopped ringing. There might be something better than Brasso that you can use, but you know, we're not sort of metal experts. We have just done one, so we're just going to lightly cover that, as you can see now. It's lightly covered, and then we're going to get it on the polishing machine. So that brings us to the end of our restoration video, where we've restored a set of clubs on a budget for under £30. I hope that gives somebody the idea who might be struggling to buy some new clubs this year, where you could probably just tart yours up and get another season out of them. But for us, you know, these aren't going to be put in the bag. They're not going to be a gaming set. They're going to be up for sale. So if you fancy a blade, if it's something you fancy trying, I'll stick the link in the comments below. There's going to be a £0 auction. So I don't know what these are going to fetch. It could be £10. It could be £100, it could be £200, but they're going to start at £0. You'll all have a chance to buy them, and I hope these go to a happy owner. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed that one, and we'll see you in a few days' time. Bye.